Hi, just waiting for a few people to join. Couple of technical difficulties there to start with, but hopefully up and running now. Just waiting for a few people to join because I'm here all on my own. Where are you, Carl? Hello. I'm just having a look at who's joining us. I can't see any names yet. Michael Delarkey. Hello, Mr. Delarkey. My Quiz Planet sparring partner. Anthony, hey, good to see you. And of course, my sidekick, Mr. Butler. So we've got 3. How is everyone? Hope you're well. Hi, Anthony. I hope you're doing all right, mate. And don't kick yourself too hard. Having one fag is nothing. You've done good. I saw your Facebook status the other day. Okay, we've got 5. So thanks for joining. First vocal point in, oh God, 2 months. Reasons for that have been life issues, all sorts. Andrew Jonathan Daniels, welcome and thanks so much for joining, much appreciated. We've got some fabulous poetry for you tonight. We've got 12 in total, and there's a real good mix, Matt, who, hey, sure, hi, sure, thanks for joining. So we've got a few so far. Is everybody okay? How is everyone? Okay, well, without further ado, there's a couple of things I just wanted to say to start with. Sorry it's been so long. I love doing this, you know I do. I absolutely love it. I love bringing your poetry, your words to life. It's what I do. As you write it, I like to read it. John J. Valley, hi. Geoff Stockton, hi, Geoff. Geoff's featured later. So I just wanted to say before I start, and I'm only going to touch on it, there's been a lot of poetry wars. There's been a pretty nasty verbal attack on myself. Now, this isn't about taking sides. It isn't even about anything to do, because I'm not responding. I'm going to be the better person, rise above it and carry on. DPS will not tolerate any poetry wars or any drama. I will tell you that now for sure. Our team are on standby if there is any drama. They'll just be blocked. End of. We are a much smaller group now. We have shed a couple of thousand members, which are either non-active or non-active accounts. So we'll remain small, secret, safe, interactive and fun. This is your home, guys, and we know that. Carol Ann, hey! Hello, and thank you for the compliment, Matty. Okay, well, without further ado, we've got a great mixture tonight. And the first one we've got a few of our team featuring. Whoever sends the rights gets featured. And the first one that we've got is one by Kris Sasa. I'm sure you'll all agree she says so much in her writing. So much. And she has such a wonderful way of writing. It's unbelievable. So, without further ado, here we go. Kris Sasa, and it's called Dark Corner of Time. It's actually very, very sad. Listen to the words and you'll see what I mean. Here goes. She holds the mirror in front of her. She could see past fine glass pores on its cool surface, reflecting now her clear and grey eyes. An ocean of history. A Beethoven of unworded voice, a Van Gogh of expressions. Time is a fluid thing in her brain. It runs back and forth, brings back the clouds, the rains, the tempests. In some dark corner of time, the child is sitting alone. Tears fall down in silence. Dark shapes and shadows peeling off her world of snowflakes and candy floss streams. like nightmares. They're hunting down, down, down. Apologies, it should be Beethoven, not Beethoven. But when you're live, this is what you get. How sad was that? It was a poem about child abuse. Yeah, if I think about it too much, you know what I'm like. I'll just cry. Having been through it myself, it's tough one to read, but also a very, very relevant one to read. Well done, Kris. Amazing. So, yeah, as I said, we're featuring I'll tell you we're featuring now, not in any particular order. We've got Lorraine Law back on the scene. We've got Matty Blades, a damn good favourite of everybody. Sound geezer. Got Trisha McCourt. We've got my old sidekick and bestie, Carl Butler. Rhiannon Owens, Kris Sasa, who you've just heard. Tom Cleary. John Herlihy. Mike Geaney. Stephen A. North. Suzanne Newman. Geoff Stockton, an old favourite. Geoff features quite a lot. And we've got Jyoti, Aarya. Now, I was hoping that most of the poets could be here, but obviously time zones, life, work, etc, etc. They can catch up with it. Obviously, it'll be live, flying around group later, and then we'll go on the YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. It's not my channel. Yes, it's me reading, but it's the DPS channel, VocalPoint, and there's a lot of poets featured on there. It's well worth having a look. The link will be in later. Okay, so Matty Blades, somebody who I've known for quite some time, and he's had a hard, tough life, and he's come out the other side. And I'm welling up with pride. Matty said, I'd like you to read Give Them Breath. And I said, okay. I've sort of get what it's about, but tell me in your words, which I like to do because it gives you an insight into the poet's mind as well. And, you know, I just think it's good to hear from their perspective as well what, you know, what the poem is about. Let's have a look. Matty Blades, Give Them Breath. Now, in Matty's own words, he said, my inspiration for this poem was a flash in my mind of a withered flower on an old grave. I wanted to convey the lonely soul no one visits anymore. And then what a waste it seems to me when we can be good caretakers after death with an abundance of trees the more. And it's a lovely rhyme. It really is. So without further ado, Matty Blades, Give Them Breath. Why art thou like a flower in autumn, withered and dry? Hath no one passed the grave in many days? Oh, so many days this one has passed. Look upon this lonely flower, so old and oh so tired, fading away just like the mere flesh that lays beneath. Is this but a place to grace one's own soul? For they still have a home within our hearts. They need not this place to lay waste the ground and rock. Plant trees for these, give them breath once more. Let roots grow deep, their leaves grow thick, an abundance of trees the more. Oh, got me emotional, Matty. Oh God, hormones. Some rights, you know, I'm not going to apologise. It is what it is. I put makeup on as well, so by the end of this, you can imagine what it's going to look like. Thank you, Andrew. It is it's an amazing Amazing write by Matty. I mean, he's always been a good writer, always, right from when I first known him. But having seen him grow and flourish, and he's got a lot going on at the moment. It's not for me to say, but watch this space. Watch this space. And he's also a very good friend. I've got his back. He's got mine. So I hope you all enjoyed that one. I really do. And the next one is like a poem that I've never read before, and I will not discriminate. I will read anything that you send to me. I find some pretty tough, and I found this one quite tough because I haven't read one like this before, and you'll see what I mean shortly. It's by a lady called Suzanne Newman. She writes beautifully, and she has a strong faith in Christianity, which comes through in this write. And although I have no religion myself, I truly respect and appreciate religion, faith, etc. And I hope I read it the right, in a good way for her. So here goes. Suzanne Newman. Leap. This is a little dark with a real leap of faith at the end. John Drudge. Hey, John Drudge. Okay, walking down a long, dark road. Suzanne Newman. Depression has me wandering down a dark and lonely, sticky road. The weight and blackness crush me. It's a heavy, cruel, oppressive load. The weight and blackness crush me. Oh, it's a heavy, cruel, oppressive load. Apologies. Anxiety spins around and around until I'm feeling dizzy. I'm trying to think straight, but my mind's all in a tizzy. I feel I've aged 100 years, just walking here for miles. Paranoia feeds me poison from its never-ending rubbish pile. Depression whispers lies to me and fills my heart with dread. Anxiety screams, what if? Whilst it tornadoes round my head. There's no one here to comfort me, no one to hold my hand. I struggle down this long, hard road with barely strength enough to stand. I limp and amble, muddle on, with no end near in sight. The scenery is bleak and dark, without a single chink of light. But when all peace of mind has gone, and hope begins to fade, the Lord God sends his holy light to brighten up this gloomy shade. The Spirit surges deep within and gives me brand new life and strength. Lord Jesus walks beside me on this lowly road of endless length. The Father up in heaven hears my broken, pitied, heartfelt pleas, and listens to my mutterings while I fall down upon broken knees. In Jesus I have Saviour, friend, companion, stamina and guide, and I know that I can soldier on as he props up my drooping side. So suddenly this long dark road is not lonely, bleak and black, so hopeless or as desolate, nor as weighty on my weary back. For God gives me the motivation, the will and strength to carry on, as his grace is sufficient for when I am weak, the Lord is strong. What a fantastic write. It really is. Laura, hi. Thanks for joining. A brilliant write. You know, having, you know, we've all probably hit depression at some time or another. I've had it pretty bad and I'm still going through it. Back in work next week. Yay. Not. But it's tough, and you know there's only you can get you out of it. It's hard because other people do not understand what you're going through. They're like, oh, pull yourself together. What's the matter now? Well, I'm lucky because my best friend in the whole world is Carl, and he's been amazing. Thank you. Yeah, it is. Trisha, it is an awesome write. It really is. It really is. Eileen Countryman, hi. Thanks for joining us. And Caroline, it's a gorgeous poem of faith. Yeah. And it's obviously what motivates Suzanne and keeps her going in her dark times. Excuse me a second. So, yeah, Anthony says, I like this one, Susan. I too have to hang tight in my belief system. Of course. I will read rights that are based on religion. I will. It's not a problem. There's not much that I would not read. Only obviously the, major suicide, etc. Thank you, Lorraine. Well done, Suzanne. Suzanne did message and say she couldn't join, but I hope that I pervade that well, even with the mistake in it. And I do apologise for mistakes, but it's difficult when you're live, it is what it is. Okay, so who have we got next? We've got Mike Geaney. I'm sure you're all familiar with Mike Geaney. Absolutely brilliant writer with some deep irony and fun in a lot of his writes. This one is certainly a Mike Geaney poem. I love it. It's called Whiskey Without Water. Softly spoken, with no more than words, I undo you. Warm talk like whiskey, sampled by open fires and candlelight. We edge closer to midnight. Conversation consummately consumed. And in the susurrant silence that follows, slumber. Drown dreaming in the depths of dusky depravity. Melt in my mellifluous melancholic melody. Sink slowly, surrendered to my will. And grant me your PIN and account numbers. Oh, you weren't expecting that, were you? So, Whiskey Without Water by Mike Geaney. I read it as a very sexy write, and that last line just had to be read. Your PIN and account numbers. Oh God, he makes me laugh. Great writer, Mike Geaney. He really is. We're so lucky in Dark Poetry Society. We're such a close-knit community anyway. I want everybody to feel like it's family, It really is family. And that's what we're about. Yeah, I know Andrew's saying his dad told him to drink whiskey when he was younger and he hasn't drunk it since. No, I haven't drunk it either. Matty says, brilliant, I'm in stitches. I know, it's so funny. When I first read it, I was like, oh, okay, sexy voice. We've got a sexy one here. And that last line just has to be read. Oh, God, funny. I told you we've got a great mix tonight. We really do. I never refuse a write. I try very much to read everybody's rights. And to be honest, I do find some very tough. I struggled with a couple on here, but, you do what you can. Mad who says, Mike, you are too good. He is. That's classic, isn't it? Still giggling. Okay, well, we've got a lovely lady next who has had some real tough times, as I suppose a lot of us have, in what we call life. And she's back on the scene, writing again, I'm pleased to say. Back in DPS and full of life, bubbly as ever. And it's Lorraine Law. And Lorraine says about this right. This is for all those, like me, that have raised themselves up from rock bottom, who continue to climb hurdles and conquer. They are true warriors to me. And that's quote unquote Lorraine Law. And this is the broken and the fallen. And this is for everybody out there. There are so many loved ones that have suffered abuse, whether of their own doing or others. That's true. No matter physically, mentally, emotionally or sexually, we've all been pushed at some time to near insanity, taking different roads to total destruction, needing no guidance or even instruction. But we've all reached a point when we've hit rock bottom. We've all chosen to find our own form of freedom, chosen to take a completely new path, to finally take us out of our abyss at last. We fought and battled and conquered it all, till finally we stand strong and tall. Sure, we have days where we fumble and all. We pick ourselves up, dust off when we fall. To me, we are all warriors, one and all. How's that for an inspirational piece? I love that, Lorraine. And I'd said I'd like to read for Lorraine, and she said, well, I really don't know which one to choose. So I went through some of the past rights that Lorraine has done, and that stood out a mile. And I think it's something that we all need right now. We've got to get up and crack on with it. Andrew, yeah, you're right. I agree, Andrew. Is saying that, you know, abuse from the past makes us stronger and more aware of ourselves. And I think he's right. And Michael also, wow, resonates with me so much, Lorraine. What a right, outstanding. Brilliant. Okay, well, you all know the next poet very, very well. I'm going to give you 3 clues. Can write about anything. First clue. Second clue. White beard. Third clue. Book out in the past couple of months. Any guesses? Come on. Come on, gang. He's quite prolific. Oh, all right then. Mr. Butler. Carl Butler. Santa. Anthony. Yeah, Santa. Well, I don't know whether you meant Santa or... But, yeah, you're right. It's Carl. Carl, now, if you haven't bought Carl's book... Now, you may think I'm biased. I'm not just saying it. Yes, I edited it and I helped him. And I'm not looking for praise there. What I'm saying is that I read every single poem. Obviously, I had to. And that book is jam-packed with all sorts of rights. Carol Ann's bought it. Lorraine's bought it. There's a few people that have. But if you haven't, you need to. You really do. It's called My Black Swan Calling. It's available on Amazon. $9.99. Nearly, I think, 200 pages. Is it 185, Carl? But anyway, and I'm going to plug it. Of course I'm going to plug it. He's already got book 2, 3 and 4 he's waiting for me to edit, and he's working on a children's book. It's his 5th. This man is a machine. Anyway, this one is from Carl's book, My Black Swan Calling, and it's called Singularly Stellar. It's a deep one. In the deep chalkboard of a crisp, clear night, smudged writings cleared by the eraser of darkness, constellations vie for attention. Their winks of beckoning call us like sirens to their sight. An overcrowded sky in this silver-studded boudoir. The choice of flirting paramours is vast. Temptation at every turn of the head. Spinning 360 degrees like an owl on patrol. I stop, I breathe, I am aghast. A black, the ravenesque of void, a nothingness in that sector of the sky. A dark so deep that reaches my soul and pulls me in. Then the glimpse, more the flash, a blinding sight. From the corner of that black draws my eye. A singularity, a star so bright against the velvet of the night. I knew that this was preordained, this destiny was mine. Not to have or hold, so far above my station and so distant, so far into the Stygian cold. But to emulate my soulmate, the will to stand apart, alone but never lonely. I can now at last fill the space in my heart, just by a single gaze. And be amazed by your look, your kisses as you blow them, for they traverse the very fabric of the universe to reach my brow. Across time and space, but in that moment time stands still. There is nothing, my stellar singularity, but you. How beautiful is that? How bloody gorgeous is that? Thank you, Carl. I mean, I spoke to Carl about this today and I said to him, I'm really struggling with it. I can't, I don't know what it was. I just couldn't. Every time I read it, I wasn't happy. And I'm my own worst critique. And Carl doesn't hold back either. I think I got a 6 out of 10 to start, and I think it ended up at maybe about an 8. In relation to your question, I think Andrew asked, it's available on Amazon. Yes, it is, under Carl Butler, My Black Swan Calling. There is also a Kindle, which I think is it $2.99? But please check it out. It's well worth a look. I know there's a lot of books about at the moment. I think Matty owns it as well. Come on, guys, get your reviews in for Carl. He worked damn hard on that book. Please, come on, let's support each other. So, amazing. Amazing piece, Carl. That, I think he's from his 2nd or 3rd book. I don't give the titles because it will be giving a lot away. They sat there waiting for me to edit. Okay. So, how is everybody feeling so far about the rights tonight? We've had some cracking ones. Let's have a recap. So we have had Kris Sasa, Matty Blades, Suzanne Newman, Mike Geaney, Lorraine Law, Carl Butler. And we've got some cracking ones, and there's an amazing one coming up next. Now, I'm going to read it and then I'm going to say what I need to say, because I think that this one will be quite an emotional one for me. It's, yeah. Love Stained Colours. Here we go. By Trisha McCourt. Just give me a sec. Maybe shouldn't have put makeup on. Love Stained Colours, Trisha McCourt. Searched high and low, finding nothing to suffice. Frustration takes control. Seeking calm, followed the unspoken advice from Mother Nature. Peaceful calm envelops amid the beautiful dual tones, Gaia's wondrous palette of hues. Thinking out loud, spoke of a gift of love, a one and only. Cathedral windows immediately came to mind. treasured beauty of chromatic artistry. He was fascinated with butterflies. Mother Nature was listening. She knew this love was real. Sorry. Stained glass butterfly flew into view, most beautiful in design. She gave me a treasure I re-give to you, my love, in nature's stained glass hues. Oh, God. Oh. Sorry. Oh, I should have got some tissue. Oh, well. Panda eyes. That's by our Trisha. And you all know Trisha's journey. And Trisha's back writing. Thank you all. Carl, could you get me some tissue, please? He's in the other room. I mean, how we all came together as a community and saved a poet's sight. A friend, a poet, an amazing poet, as you've just seen. And I should read that again because I've made a bit of a hash of that. I'm so sorry, Trisha. I'm just amazed at what we all achieved. And these poetry wars can bang on wherever they want to, but not in DPS. We remain strong, we remain solid, and we remain as family. Oh, thank you. Oh dear God. So sorry, guys. But I knew I might crack up on that. But anyway. So I feel I should read it again, and maybe I will at the end. I'm so sorry, Trisha, I messed that up. It's a very personal poem to Trisha as well. It really is. So there you go. This is what you all did. And got Trisha's sight back. Both operations have been done. Trisha's eyes are getting there now, nearly there. There's just a couple of aftercare appointments and potentially glasses, but there we go. And that was the highlight of my year. Oh, I love you so much, Trish. Okay, so yeah, I'll perhaps read that at the end again because I made a bit of a mess of that because my voice went all... I'm sorry. So we've got Tom Cleary next. I think you all know Tom. You will know him for his interesting, I'm going to use the word profound, comments on your posts. He really takes his time. He really takes his time. Feels you right. And I mean, I've not seen comments like it. I haven't. I've seen similar, but he's a great moderator. He's a brilliant fella. He really is. And this one's from him, and this one's quite uplifting. And just before I do, thank you, Trisha. You read it like I wrote it, with tears and love. Oh God, don't set me off again, girl. I'll be ringing you before I'm back in work for a catch-up. Okay, thank you so much for everybody that's joining as well. I absolutely appreciate it. So the next one, Tom Cleary. And it's called Centuries. It's quite short and sweet. He sent me two, one which was also quite involved and much more involved one, which I'll read in the future because he's a great writer. But this says so much in 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 sentences. And Tom says, my inspiration came directly from Dark Poetry Society, since our membership is far-flung across the globe. It's always reassuring to read the comments from someone in Nigeria, India, or New Zealand. and everywhere else, and realise that our lives are so much alike. Desires, fears, hopes, that it's easy to see all of us as one big extended family. Some members remind me very much of favourite aunts, uncles and cousins. I mean, how lovely is that? And what he wrote actually sums us up as a community. And so does this. Sentries, Tom Clancy. I got your text just a few minutes ago. It consisted of a warm good morning with a steaming cup of coffee. Over here, it's almost midnight. We are two sentinels relieving each other from duty, watching over our dreams of home. How great is that? I mean, how lovely is that? It really is. It's a fantastic. So, you know, I just got your text. I've been watching the group. Thanks for your good morning. Enjoy your coffee. It's nearly midnight here. It just seemed more appropriate with sort of everything that's going on, etc. at the moment. And yeah, it had to be done. It epitomises DPS. Okay. Well, a little bit of an extended show tonight, so it shouldn't be much longer than about 8:15, but let's see how it goes. What's everybody thinking of the rights so far? There's some cracking work, isn't there? Oh, I know, Laura. Laura says, love our Tom. He's an absolute darling. He really is. All our team are amazing. They really are. You know, they love the group. They come in, I mean, they run the group, basically. Carl and I, you know, don't need to worry. And even though we're now down to 1k members just about, we're still busy. It never stops. Yeah, you're right. Michael Delarky, you're right. People just want to drag the name of poetry through the mud, exactly. Or mine. Do I look bothered? No. Anyway, the next one. Rhiannon Owens, who you all know as well. Quite a few of our team tonight sent rights in, and all sent rights in, so of course I'm going to read them. There's no favouritism here. Although our team support Carl and I 100%. We support them 100%, as we will do with our members. And Andrew Jonathan Daniels, you are not an amateur in this group at all. You are not an amateur in this group at all. Your rights are relevant. Everybody writes differently. So don't put yourself down. John Herlihy, how good timing is that? Because you're coming up. We'll hit you shortly. Thank you for joining. Rhiannon Owens, A Waking Dream. This is lovely feel good. A whole good feel good. What we need. A waking dream. My downturned mouth and that tear in my eye. Yet you're still here for me, and I don't know why. I'm moody and odd, and so insecure, but somehow you see me, despite these flaws. Your arms give me strength as you hold me tight. Your eyes are the warmth, my sunny delight. Your mouth is so sensual, silken and flowing. Your smile undoes me, my love keeps on growing. With you, that tightness in my chest is kept at bay. The weight of life's shackles are cast away. I breathe in your essence, I touch your face. A waking dream, our own time and place. I love you so much, you're so precious to me. My belly is butterflies, I'm all at sea. I call out to you with every beat of my heart. My feelings are poetry. My feelings are art. That people would see and just know what it means, because you and I are the stuff of dreams. But proof that these dreams can really come true if we truly believe and we want them to. How lovely is that? It's about, obviously, a young girl that's very much in love, or a woman that's very much in love. Has anyone ever made you feel like that? Yeah, in answer, they have with me, but that was a long time ago. Thank you, Andrew. Elaine, hello. Elaine Yanni Fink, our well-deserved poet this Friday of the week. Wait to see what Elaine's got in store for you. And it ain't just poetry. Okay. I like to get inside the poet's head. Sometimes, I'll be honest, I don't understand rights. So rather than come on and muddle on through, no, I want to get inside your head. Why did you write it? What's it about? I don't understand this bit. To convey your right in the best way, I need to know it. Not necessarily inside out, but I need a good feel for it. And I hope that's what I do. Thank you, Michael. It is outstanding poetry. But there again, you know, we've got some amazing talent in our group. And as you do in My Kind of People and the Poetry Labyrinth. Okay, this one is by Stephen A. North. Not a prolific writer by any way, shape or form, but he always has a message which, you know, he gets across. And Ali, I've just noticed you here. Hello, sweetheart. I love Ali. And check out a Friday night show on Instagram as well, guys. Or you will see it coming, or flying around group on a Friday. I need to get together with Ali and maybe we need to do a show together. I think that would be great. But let's see what happens. Here goes. Stephen A. North. This is the end. Now, Stephen says about it when I asked him, quote unquote, it started off as a straightforward apocalyptic poem, but it is about deciding to live also. No matter the odds, we should live whilst we can. Keep trying. We have forever to be dead. We're still here now. The ghosts of those we love and loved would want us to at least try. So that was the paragraph of the inspiration behind the right that Stephen A. North gave me. And this is his right. This is the end. The years have been long. I pause and hold my breath. What lurks up there? The voice in my head whispers, stay here, be safe, be safe. Nothing to fear. If you're alone, but I'm not all alone. There's ghosts down here. Voices in my head, never silent, although they're dead. Rusty metal squeals, grains of sand fall from above as I turn the wheel. A sudden warmth, a flood of light. Ah, the sun too bright. As I open the hatch, so long sealed, I shade my eyes against the glare. The world's still there. Do I dare? Do I dare? What are everybody's thoughts on that? It is the paragraph, yeah. I think the inspiration, that the paragraph that Stephen gave me was great. It sums it up wonderfully. Dry mouth, wow. Very dry mouth. Okay, we've got 3 more, which the next one I'm going to read is by Geoff Stockton, and it's called Listen. Very good poem. Very strong message throughout too. So here goes, Geoff Stockton. Listen. Listen to the silence when words can't do the after. Can't. Right, start again. Geoff Stockton, listen. Listen to the silence when words can't do the talking. Listen to the words left unsaid, even after hours of reassuring. Listen to the smile that deceives but gives away sadness. Listen to the emotionally broken voice of over-exaggerated laughter. Listen to the helplessness behind every sorry, and listen to the unspoken hurt in every it's okay. Listen for the lows lurking behind the audible highs. Listen to the cloudy gloominess woven into brighter, sun-filled skies. Not always, but sometimes the clouds of sadness rain with tears. So listen then for the sorrow underlying those pent-up fears. Not always, but sometimes a disagreement is a threatening horizon. The dampness of every downpour is that brooding feeling of depression. Remember those liaisons that often end with shallow goodbyes. Listen to the restrained emotions which end up with an awkward, unanswered question. Why? Honesty isn't a message, not always easily delivered. Sensitivity limiting the manner in which it's recovered. Listen for the subordinated reply, the averted eye contact away from the sky. Listen for what's subtly left unsaid. The language of silence can be deceptively loud, particularly feelings blurred by feeling proud. I think that is an amazing poem, Geoff. Geoff writes on all sorts of subjects. I mean, I'm sure you've seen his sexy writing group. But that is, you know, it's making me think now. It's very thought-provoking. Yeah, it is, John. John says the subject of listening is so important. It's so, it is, and I think many of us just hear what we want to hear because we get caught up in everyday life and everyday scenarios and situations. It is. He's a great writer, Geoff. I hope that was to your liking, Geoff. I'd just like to say, guys, 26th of November is the last day for submissions to our e-sign. For those of you who don't know, Dark Poetry Society does a digital magazine for our members only each month, which is done by Jerry Langdon, who also owns Raven Cage. He edits and everything. Carl and I sort of promote it and, you know, get all the rights in. So please get all the rights in. The theme is November Hues, but that is not a prerequisite. If you want to send anything in, send it to ravencage@gmail.com and in the subject header, DPS. Please, 26th of November, and that's for the e-sign. You're welcome, Geoff. You're welcome. It was a really good write. I'm really excited about who I'm reading for next. I don't, per se, like to say I have favourites. I think we all probably do. But John Herlihy, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, is my new go-to. I love his writing. I really do love his writing. And I'm going to be reading Somewhere a Flower Blooms shortly. Again, and I've done this quite a lot tonight because I think it's amazing to get inside the author's head and get to know them a little bit better. So here's what John said about Somewhere a Flower Blooms. My inspiration tends to take me to places, hopefully, that many people have experienced and that readers can relate to. I like to keep my poems simple, and accessible, shining light on all aspects of an idea worth mentioning. In this poem, through the image of a flower that lives somewhere, I evoke whatever it is that may inspire or draw us in. Something that we don't have, but potentially lies out there waiting for us to arrive, and is there also waiting. So, without further ado, John Herlihy, Somewhere a Flower Blooms. Somewhere a flower blooms. I cannot tell you where. Its location is a secret, known only within my inner room. It is enough to know that it is there, sharing its beauty in the universal loom. I often see it clearly in my dreams. In the distance, like a desert mirage, I lean forward to smell its fragrance, emanating from this delicate corsage. But the dream at once escapes me, although it was never there. Will I ever be able to recapture it, as I fall into fathomless despair? Enough, perhaps, to know it exists, on the inside where hope resides. I need to look within my inner rooms to know somewhere a flower blooms. Absolutely beautiful. No words. No words. So I'm sure you've seen John around group quite a lot, you know. He's not been with us too long, actually. Hannah, hey Hans, I hope you're well. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. And this is why I do this too. I love reading. I want to become a narrator if that ever happens. But I love, it's not really spoken word, it's narration, I think. But thank you, that means a lot. And it was a superb poem to read. Thank you, Kris. Oh, thank you, Carl. I'm really amazed at the turnout tonight. Thank you so much. I know it's been a couple of months. I'm hoping at the moment it's going to be once a month minimum. And I'm hoping we'll go back to once every couple of weeks. It's just at the moment it's so difficult, and I'm back at work next week, but we shall see. I'll keep you informed. Don't forget the YouTube channel as well. It'll be on the link later. So please, if you don't subscribe, there is loads of amazing talent on there from DPS. I only read for DPS. Thank you, Greg. One last little write, which is by Jyoti Aarya. I hope I've pronounced the name correctly. Jyoti couldn't join us. Time difference, etc. work. It's difficult to find a time to suit everybody. But here goes. Jyoti Aarya. Sighs of a paper boat, smiling as serene frills, drizzling from pinny of clandestine yearnings. Perhaps what you construe as white linen wings, crease-free, flying at a canter, is her entombed soul, sauntering through the bracken on another frosty morning. Short and sweet. And Jyoti said, you know, that this is an introspective write. It's about how she feels people were perceiving her at that time and what she really is going through. Another great writer. Thank you all so much for allowing me to read your words. I am going to finish with Trisha's again, because I made a mess of it before, purely just through to emotion. And I think I owe that to her. I really do. So to end the show, guys, thank you so so much for joining. We will be back soon. Keep your eyes posted. And please sign up, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Trisha McCourt, Love Stained Colours. Searched high and low, finding nothing to suffice. Frustration takes control. Seeking calm, follow the unspoken advice from Mother Nature. Peaceful calm envelops amid the beautiful jewel tones, Gaia's wondrous palette of hues. Thinking out loud, spoke of a gift of love, a one and only. Cathedral windows immediately came to mind, treasured beauty of chromatic artistry. He was fascinated with butterflies. Mother Nature was listening. She knew this love was real. Stained glass butterfly flew into view, most beautiful in design. She gave me a treasure I re-gift to you, my love in nature's stained glass hues. Oh, here we go again. Fantastic, right, Trisha? Fantastic. Thank you all again. I have much appreciated it, and I've missed it so much. I love doing this. Send your rights, VocalPoint spoken@gmail.com. All rights considered, bar obviously suicide, child, you know, in-depth child abuse, etc. goes without saying. Please send VocalPoint spoken@gmail.com. Reading for DPS, supporting our community, poetry in motion. Thanks, guys. Good night.